Hi, RJ Mazzoni here, and I'd like to take this opportunity to talk about our city's annual revenue. Budget season is fast upon us, and it's no secret that my concern for the economy, specifically our need for a long-term strategic plan, is the reason why I'm running for city council. So here's our revenue sources. They come from a variety of areas, but really the top four I want to talk about are franchise fees, county sales tax, city sales tax, and property sales tax. Now your community service fees, they're going away. They're replaced with the public safety tax that just got approved. So that piece of the pie will get larger, and it's a good thing. Our first responders do an awesome job, and they need all the funding we can get. Property tax is just that, a tax on all our property. City sales tax, 1% of everything spent goes directly to our city coffers. County sales tax, that's an interesting one. For every 1% of all our purchases goes to the county. They take their cut, and then based on a city's size, we receive a proportion of that tax back. This kind of helps us out because we're a fairly good sized city, yet because we don't have a robust business infrastructure, proportionally receiving more than a city that is our equal size but has twice our businesses. So that actually works out for us. And finally, there's franchise fees. Franchise fees, what that is the utilities pay the government for use of our right-of-ways. That's power lines, cables, plumbing, sewer pipes, anything like that. So don't worry though, we end up paying for it in the end. This is a good graph showing the annual growth of each of our revenue sources and how much we get from them. You can see the largest by far here is the county sales tax, but that has a small growth of about 1.3%, but it is very large. So you can tell the next biggest one is our city sales tax. Now that grows at a fairly good rate of 3.7%, which is greatly higher than our growth in new businesses. That is indicative of our population growth. More people are spending more money in the same number of business, but that's a good thing, it's growing. Now the spike in 2016 wasn't a large spike in revenue growth. We got that from an audit of a local company, so that was a one-time good deal. Finally, we have our property taxes, and even that has a 2% growth, and that is directly lined with our population growth. Our property tax rate hasn't changed, so the growth is due to more houses, more people paying that same. So you can see that is another place where our population growth is incorporated into my model. Finally, I have the franchise fees, which are kind of up and down. So, but overall about a 1% growth, but they're, of all the four, they're the smallest. So overall, here's our income. And it's important to know that this slide, this data came directly from our city's audits, and they can be found on maumelle.org. So this is not from our budget, from the actual audits. Now, the first thing that stands out to me is this big spike in 2012. That was not a large income that year that then fell off, but rather we bought new bonds in 2012, and in doing so retired old bonds, and so we didn't have, so the money that we would have spent from our coffers then came back to us at a windfall at the end of the year. It's complicated, I know. Basically, we borrowed from our credit card, and that money's been with us for a while. So the best thing to start with my model was to determine if there's a good trend, and it's a fairly straight line, and that trend, which you can see through some linear regression, comes out to be about 2.2% annual growth, and that our actual revenue line hugs that very well. So this is how I got my data for 2.2% annual growth, which I projected in my future analysis for the rest of my strategic plan, which I'll present in a later video. So just wanted to say thank you for your time. If you like this, please share it. And if you have any questions, please let me know, because this was a very complicated topic to boil down in just a few minutes. So hopefully it wasn't too confusing, but please, I'll answer any questions you have, because again, this is our money and we need to know where it's going. Thanks.